What's up, good people? You're watching Brodsy Entertainment. I am joined with the lovely Joanne, and we have a lovely new guest today, Natalie Jane. Natalie, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. You need to put an F on the end though, because there's already a Natalie Jane. So I'm Natalie JaneF.
Okay, sorry, I put an F on your name, yeah? Okay, lovely, I like
Correcting
that.
you already. Sorry.
Yes, I like that. No, I did see that actually, and I was actually wondering whether, I weren't sure whether or not to do that, but I got it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
forgot to do it, you forgot to do it on yours as well,
I
below.
did. Yeah, I did. You're right. I
Yeah, so
did.
I'm telling you off. I'm telling her off now, see? Haha. Joanne, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Lovely sunny Thursday. It's yeah, good. Good to be alive.
Fantastic. So Jane, like I said, I do life stories and experiences, and one of the first things I like to do is find out how my guests became who they are today. So what kind of person were you like growing up?
Wow. Oh, growing up. Oh my gosh, we're really going back. Well, I started playing the piano from I think I was about 8 when I started playing the piano. There was an really old piano in my parents' house. And then I'm just talking about my music,
Yeah.
start. And then I ended up. I was really lucky. I got accepted into the Royal Academy of Music, the junior Royal
Wow.
Academy of Music every Saturday. So I
Wow.
used to go up there, and from 12, and then so then I did all my training at the Royal Academy, and then so I was classically trained. I did some singing as well, and then I left. And then I didn't do any music stuff for a long time. So I
Okay.
decided I want to do something else.
Okay.
And then I just came back to it. Well, I carried on playing. I teach a little bit as well.
Okay.
And then I used to mess around with writing a little bit, but not too much. And then I really started writing maybe last year, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
What made you come back to it?
Well, I decided that well, I don't know. It was just deciding that I'd done a lot of other things, and I basically started writing because it was the end of a relationship. I think a lot of people start doing creative things when they're a little bit in despair. So I was a little bit like, emotionally emotionally a bit down, and I just found like writing songs made me feel it was an outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why I started doing it. And it wasn't really, I didn't have a goal in mind or anything. I was just, I was just seeing what happened. So.
No small goal in there, like when you started playing and
Well,
singing and stuff?
but to tell you the truth, I started writing and I thought, oh, I liked it. And then when I went to record them, or record the first couple, when you hear it back,
Yeah.
when you're acting as an audience, I actually thought, oh, I actually think that's quite nice.
Yeah.
So then I got encouraged to carry on writing songs, and yeah, I do. I mean, I'm definitely trying to progress, see what happens. I'm trying to, connect with people
Yeah.
and put it out there, and yeah.
And how's your social media experience going at the minute in terms of TikTok and stuff?
It's going okay. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm trying to, when you first start, it's very sort of finding the right way to do things. So I find TikTok a little bit more. There's more people on TikTok, so you get
Okay.
a more general audience on TikTok. Yeah, so it's building. It's getting there. Definitely, I have people that write to me all the time now who comment on all the songs and everything, and like a regular thing. So that's really good.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and obviously, I could like listening to you play and sing. You could quite clearly tell that you had been classically trained. It's just got that sort of relaxing vibe to it. So I listen to that sort of music on YouTube all the time, sometimes in the
right,
background, just when I'm doing my stuff. So I was just like,
yeah.
wow, this is very nice.
Well, I find it helps with chords and things like that, because I understand about how everything goes together. So I think if you can't, because mind you, a lot of people, they play songs like Chris Martin comes to mind. He never really learned how to read music or anything like that, and he does brilliant. I love him, and he does such good songs. And he doesn't really have any. I don't know if he has how much. that much training. I'm not sure, but I find it easier for me, having done all that and understanding how they go together. That definitely helps. Yeah.
And how do you find teaching that?
Well, it varies, doesn't it? Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's not so easy.
Yeah.
I
'Cause I was ready to book a session because me and Joanne were talking off air before you came, and we were both just saying we would love to be able to play an instrument and be able to sing
Honestly,
the way you can.
Have you
I'm
not learned anything then? Have you not learned anything at all?
Do you know what? For me, I literally was awful at school. I tried everything. I tried singing, and I was in the choir. And then they said, "People in the back row, can you stay? Because we just need to listen to you." I thought, no, I'm off. I tried playing the recorder. They didn't want me. I tried playing the violin. No, do you know what I mean? I could never do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Right.
All my family can sound nice, but when
Yeah.
I sing, something goes wrong.
Well, I think I mean, record. I think we all had to do the record, didn't we? I remember doing that one. That was probably the first thing I did as well, recorder. Yeah, I think some people have a natural. It's like any sort of thing. It's like painting, isn't it? Things like that. Some people have a natural. I mean, I've tried a bit of acting as well, and I don't think I'll ever be a great actress. I think sometimes you have a level where you get to maybe, and then some people can go a little bit more in other things. Everyone has a strength, don't they?
Yeah. I hear people say that there's a song out there for everyone to sing. There's got to be a song out there that you can sing that goes
Yeah.
with your voice.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Just finding it.
Yeah,
I'm still
it's just
finding it.
You
That
just
is
find
a
your
bucket list.
range. You need to find your range.
Yes,
Bucket
indeed.
list that I can sing one song. Do you know what I mean? That's it. I just want to then tick it
Well,
off.
you can't say that because every time you say that, I'll tell you to sing it, and then you say, "No, I'm not singing it."
No.
I like to sing all sorts of songs. I don't know if you've been on my YouTube channel. I do sing a little bit on there, but it's just more sort of karaoke sort of stuff. Really, sort of.
Right.
I think I don't sound too bad. I mean, I had a few singing
Oh,
lessons, but yeah, I just kind of get stuck in. Once you get stuck like a bad driver, you get stuck in bad habits,
Yeah.
and then then it's just like, yeah.
I think when you do singing, it teaches you how to breathe, doesn't it? And teaches how not to strain your voice as well. Because it's tempting to just sort of push.
Wait,
and sing.
I think last time I had a singing lesson, someone said to me, at the moment you start singing with your head and you start feeling that sort of going off sort of beat, then you're going too high. I think that's always my problem. I like going for the
You
belt.
go too high.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. What's next 5 years in terms of the music? I know you're writing songs. You've got some. I noticed that you said you've got a couple of songs releasing soon.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I
what's the
have.
process?
Well, because I started after doing my initial ones, I wanted to get some remixed as well because I really like dance music
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, that would be fun to try and get a remix, remixes done. So I got my song called Firelight. I got that remixed and I called it really originally Firelight Dance, and I really liked what he did with that. I thought that was, I thought he did that really well. So I've done another one as well, a little bit more relaxed, and then there's another one coming out. So I really like doing that. I just want to carry on writing. Really, it depends. Sometimes it's the hardest bit is actually sitting down, isn't it, and write and getting down to it. I think once you start, because some of the songs I've done, like the first one I did, the Skyline one, took ages. I was just spent ages over it. Not so much the lyrics, more the music. But the one coming out in a couple of weeks, I did that really quickly. I did that in like a day and a half. So
Yeah.
it's just sitting down, So it's just finding the time. It's finding the time. When I found the time, then I would just write songs because I do like the process of it. It's just
What's your big goal? If someone said to you, if you could be wherever you wanted to be, what is it that where would you want to get to? What's the biggest thing that you think, oh, that's it, I've done it?
Do you know what I really would love to do? I would love to get one of my songs in a movie. That's what I would really love.
Okay.
I would love to sit down at the cinema and hear one of my songs in a movie. I would just love that. That is probably a big goal of mine, is to do that, because I was an extra in a film a while ago.
Mission Impossible. I heard about that.
The thing is, I was in it. I mean, it's such a tiny little bit of it, but it was amazing because we did it during COVID,
Yeah.
and so we were all locked together basically in this hotel for like a few
Wow.
weeks at a time. But I was lucky to meet Tom Cruise and a lot of the other actors, and we actually had more scenes than actually is in the movie, so they cut loads.
Yeah.
So I got to be in loads of scenes, but like, only 2 remained, and they were really tiny. But the whole experience was amazing. And then when I went to watch it, and I was so excited, waiting for the because we didn't know what we were going to be in, or if we
Yeah.
were even going to be in it. And it was just and then I thought, oh gosh, I would just really love to hear it on the big screen. I would just really love that. Hear a
Wow.
song.
Wow. You didn't get to, you weren't singing your heart out on
No,
set, were you?
I was just playing. But I was playing a lot. They asked me to ad lib a lot because they wanted it to feel like how the scene is, when they put it all together. So we were all on this train, and I had to keep playing, just making, I just ad libbed. And Tom Cruise was walking up and down, and so it was really amazing to do that.
I bet that gave you a big old, oh yes, let me have a piece of this.
Well, you know
This
what?
is what I need to be doing.
Do you know the guy? There was a guy in there called Greg. Oh, what's his name? Greg Tarzan Davis. He's also been in Maverick as well. He was one of the baddies. You know, the 2 baddies that were running around.
Yeah.
He was one of them, and I got to speak to him, and I sent him a tweet, or I sent him a tweet a couple of months later saying that I was going to start acting class. That's when I started acting classes as well.
Wow.
Because of that. And he wrote back to me, and he was so lovely. He said, "Oh yeah, I remember you, and you've got to follow your dreams and everything." It was just really, I mean, if I wrote to him now, he'd probably like totally ignore it, but it was so nice to get a back from.
So I think the good thing about sorry Joanne, you go first.
Well, so what I was going to say is, do you just write for yourself, or do you write for other people as well?
I write for me. The thing is, most of them, apart from this one coming out now, they all basically to do with this relationship. I was, a lot of emotion was coming out, and the lyrics were all to do with that. And so now I've started to be quite a little bit less despairing. I've started to write about other things as well, but initially it was all about putting my emotions out there.
I bet like being able to play the piano and sing, I imagine that's like an ace for because a lot of people, when they express their feelings, maybe they'll talk to themselves, but you're actually able to sit there and I wish I never done all that shit for you before, you ungrateful bastard.
My friends say they're waiting for the angry stage to come out, so I'm sure that's going to come out when I start
Okay.
playing into somebody singing.
Literally.
But the ones I was doing initially, up until this point, really, were all quite, just like heartbreaking. Really, I was heartbroken. So that's the vibe of the ones that
it's very common though, that, isn't it? I mean, Adele did it, didn't she? We know about Adele's life. It's all in her music and other
basically
stuff.
Yeah. That's what it is. That whole relationship is in those songs. It is, I know. I think women do it more, probably.
It's getting it out. It's therapy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting it out. You can write it down if you want, but I mean, God, singing it must be something different that most of us never experience.
Yeah. No, it definitely was. It definitely was. It's definitely, when I listen to them, I obviously know which bits, because the Skyline one was when we went to New York. That was my first one. That was about a trip that we took to New York. For my birthday, and then I was just talking about that, really.
Was it a long relationship?
It was a few years. It was my longest one. I haven't had it was a few years. And it's funny because I've never actually spoken to him. We sort of half keep in touch, but I've never actually, I'm sure he realizes that I've released all these songs about him, but he never we don't broach the subject.
Wow. That's good that you're able to keep a sort of amicable relationship.
Well, it's hard, I mean, in passing,
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anyone sing your songs?
No.
Well, how would you feel? Do you reckon? Would you critique it and be like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that"? Or
give me the lines. I'll butcher it for you.
Let's give it a shot. Do you know? I never really thought about that. I've never thought about that. Because people could do things completely differently, don't they? When they cover songs, they put their own
spin on it.
Spin of it. Yeah.
I'm going to make that my goal, actually, to find one of your songs and sing.
You're going to sing one of my songs.
I'll sing one of your songs, indeed. Yeah.
Apologies now.
High pitch.
Yes, indeed. I'm actually. I don't know. I don't know. I can sing loads of really good songs, like in like high, low. But yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
great. I'm not great. But a lot of people like to know who the artist is. So let's find a little bit more about you. Who are you, Natalie JaneF?
Oh, right. Well, you know what? I don't. It's weird. I don't. I find it weird talking about myself. Um, in what? Give me
I think when people
How old
when
are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm in my 40s. I'll go as far
Okay.
as that.
See, because I'm in my 50s and I'm just
Right.
fascinated by age, especially women, because
Yeah.
women seem to do something special once they've got a bit older.
Yeah,
And
that's probably it. Yeah, you're right. When I was, yeah, I didn't, like I say, I was doing other things. I didn't really think about it. And then obviously you have other breakups along the way as well.
yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe when you're a little bit older, you tend to sort of be a bit more, oh, okay.
Okay, I've got
mm,
a question. What have you learned from your relationships?
Oh,
From
what
your
have I
past
learned?
yeah, what have you learned from your past
Oh,
relationships?
gosh, I've learned,
you're better off alone.
yeah, I've learned. No, actually, no. I think when you're in a long-term relationship, it does teach you a little bit about yourself.
Mm,
You tend to analyze, don't you? Women tend to analyze when they break
yeah.
up from somebody what the issues were. Yeah, I've learned a few things about myself. Definitely, I've learned. Yeah, I've learned that it wasn't all. You know, and initially I was blaming all him, but it wasn't all him. I've learned a few things
You've
about
got to
myself.
take responsibility.
I was waiting for that because a lot I find I'm gonna get shot down for this, but a lot of women
You're
sometimes.
outnumbered, remember?
Yeah, I know. A lot of women sometimes in relationships, they do tend to just sort of focus on what the guy did wrong, and it's
No, I
very
didn't.
hard. It's very hard sometimes for accountability. I think it takes a little bit. I think it takes a few years, a bit of wisdom to sort of like
Mm.
maybe I did
Yeah,
moan a bit too much about the dishes and putting your stuff away and making dinner, going to the gym and work out and you're never here. You never spend enough time with me.
yes, no, yeah, definitely. When I was younger, I mean, yes, so I've never have analysed anything of it. I would have always blamed the other half. But yeah, you tend to sort of, yeah, see your own faults as you get a little bit older.
You've
So
got to take
I'm
your own
trying to accept.
responsibility.
Pardon?
You got to take your own responsibility, haven't
Yeah,
you?
you
There's
do.
two people in a relationship. Even if the
Yeah,
guy is the worst person in the world,
yeah.
you still got to take responsibility because you're in that relationship, putting up with it. So you
And
know.
it will all be okay. Once my son's in a movie, everything will be great.
Well, well,
All the breakup will be worthwhile.
well. Well, I'm actually in the process of writing a short movie actually.
Are
So
you?
there we go. I am, yes, indeed. I
Oh
am
wow,
indeed.
what's it about?
It's about four couples that go on a they go on a they're four couples that are trying to save their relationship, and they go to a like it's like a big house sort of thing where they sort of try and spice up their relationships basically.
Like Love Island.
More like couples retreat kind of. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
so
probably.
yeah, there might be a bit of blood and gore and stuff like that in it, but
Oh wow, okay.
we're still playing. You never know. I always need couples to play parts.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Have you done
you know.
acting then?
I have, and sort of like made loads of like short movies and stuff like that.
Oh, have you? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
something I do for creators as well. Like in all different industries, I sort of help them do like little movies and stuff, just to
Right,
sort of promote themselves on social media and stuff.
right.
But yeah, it's yeah,
Okay, that's
yes,
interesting.
yes, indeed.
Right.
Okay, so let's get some interesting facts about you
Oh,
then. Come on, we want to know who you are, Natalie Jane F.
oh my goodness.
What is your most proudest achievement? What is something that you just look back and say, "Wow, I was great there."
Oh,
I'm not talking about any
what?
bikini pictures either.
That's an achievement,
You're
being
so putting me
40
on the
plus in a
spot.
bikini. So that's
I know,
great.
I know. You're so putting me on the spot. Oh gosh, I can't think. What am I most proud of? Um, oh
That's quite
gosh.
sad. Most people, if you
Well,
ask
the
them,
things
like you know,
I'm proud about putting these songs out. I'm proud that because you
good,
know
there
it's
we go.
quite nerve wracking when you're putting your soul out there. You know,
It
to
is.
actually go and record it in the first place was very nerve wracking,
Mhm.
and to have and to advertise it and have everyone listen who knows you. I think that was I think I was quite brave to do that. because a lot of people, they would find it difficult. So I'm proud of myself that I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people just like people like when they start hitting their 40s, they start thinking, there is like a stereotype of, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, the proper things, the proper
Mm.
ways, and blah blah blah. But nowadays, I'm finding like people are just jumping into social media and just sort of not being
Yeah.
afraid to be themselves and just sort of get on with
No.
it. And
Yeah.
initially, like you said, the same thing. Like I can remember if I watched back some of my first videos that I'd done 3 or 4 years ago, I cringed to the teeth. But then I've just sort of like accepted I am who I am. I try and improve on everything that I do. But
Yeah.
you there's nothing you can do, like So I imagine singing, it's a lot worse, like because it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if it actually applies to singing because I think unless you're tone deaf or whatever, you can listen to music and like you can appreciate a good song that you wrote or whatever.
Mm.
So I don't know if that applies to it because if you listen, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I've had a lot of reject ones as well. Like you work on them for ages and they just don't go anywhere. I've had a
Yeah.
few of those. It's been a bit
Well,
frustrating.
Ed Sheeran famously said, "Everyone talks about my greatest hits. No one cares about my 100 songs I wrote before. The
Oh,
hundreds
well,
and
that's
thousands."
good.
Ed
Yeah.
Sheeran said that himself. So that's
Okay. That's good
it's
to know because I've had, quite a few like that where I've tried and tried. And for some reason, they just don't want to go where I want them to go. It's really weird. And then others just come out. It's
yeah,
weird. Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe it's timing. Maybe it's timing. Maybe them songs you're not quite ready for them. Maybe you need a few more life
Maybe.
experiences or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I've kept them all. So they're all on the side with bits of ones and bits of others and blah, blah, blah. So maybe one day I'll
I
just
think you
put
just
them
need
all together.
I think you just listening to you saying I think you just need a good promoter to help you promote, and maybe I'll
Oh,
send you
yeah. Do you know what?
maybe
Yeah.
I'll send you a message on
Well,
that privately later.
Well, because when you're doing it, because obviously I'm started on my own, I'm doing it on my own. It's so much to do. You've got to
It's too
market
much.
yourself, you've got to promote yourself, you've got to, you've obviously got to write, you've got to. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of
It
work.
is a lot. It is a lot of
Constant.
work. Yes, and obviously
Social
it's fun.
media as well.
Yeah,
Trying to keep once you get followers, trying to keep your followers.
Non-stop. It just keeps going,
It
doesn't
is
it? Every
non-stop.
day
It
you've got to
really
keep
is.
going. You
uh,
can't take your foot
Yeah.
off the thingy because
No.
suddenly you're yesterday's news. If you do,
Yeah.
people thank
yeah.
you.
And you've got to think of content. You can't just keep putting out, okay, I've got a song coming out. You've got to, you've got to think of other things to say and do. And it is quite a lot of,
Yeah,
it's quite a lot. When you're working as well, you're doing other stuff. It's a
yeah,
lot, it's got a lot to do. Not
indeed,
that I'm
indeed,
complaining or anything, but I didn't realise, but to keep this thing moving,
Yeah.
indeed,
takes
indeed,
some doing on
indeed.
your, on my,
But the most important thing is what you have is talent. That
well, thank you.
that's the main thing. When you've got a talent, at least you're going like at least you're on the right path. Like a lot of people, some people don't have any talent and they just got to try and find their own sort of like find their own sort of way, almost sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
be a bag of mixed tricks and stuff. So, but when you got your talent, at least you got that clear focus. All right, I'm a good singer. I know I'm not the best singer in the world, but I'm a good singer, and I'm writing songs, and hopefully one song can hit a chord with
Yeah.
someone.
Well, I've tried. I've had a couple of American people approach me to do promotion in America, like radio promotion. But it's all about buying
Yeah,
this and paying for that and blah blah blah.
you
So
don't
I did a little
honestly,
bit of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so I did a
It,
little bit of that because I really would like to. I mean, obviously, we're a long way from that, but I really like to get songs in America as well. I think that would be amazing. I just love
yeah,
America.
yeah.
And New York. That's why I did about New York. So I focus quite a lot on New York. I've been putting that song out to New York. I spoke to a couple of DJs there. So I'm just constantly trying to think of new ways of trying to promote these things. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll send my CV in later on once we finish our interview. But yeah. So we want to get a song in a movie.
I
What's
want
the
to get
overall
go
what's the
on.
overall tone of the sort of music that you write? Obviously, I know there was a lot to Heartbreak, and Heartbreak is one of the most simplest sort of genres to go in because everyone knows what it feels like to like
Yeah.
to have heartbreak. So
Yeah.
um, I don't.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't really, I just see what comes out. I don't find the lyrics too difficult, actually. I do this, always do the music first.
Hmm.
And then half the time when I'm writing, I'm just saying words to the lyrics as they come out. But yeah, I just see what comes out. I just see how I'm thinking at the time, you know, what's yeah.
So when
So
you're like free playing on the piano, sort of like I just find it magical when I see people just like playing and not particularly have any sort of like obviously I don't know if they've got a sort of theme in mind of how they're going to play or whatever, but I just find it magical when they sit there and then obviously the words start coming out and they sort of make it match together. Sort of, I find that magical. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I think some people do lyrics. I think some people have different ways, don't they? Some people do lyrics first, or some
hmm
people do. But yeah, I just do the music and then see where it goes, see where my train of thought takes me.
I guess with music, if you do that first, words will come to you. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Because they sound familiar to the sound and things like that. And if you do
yeah,
words
yeah.
first,
I
you've got
don't know
to have
how people
to
do. I
start.
don't know how people do lyrics first. It would be weird to do lyrics first because then yeah, you're trying to fit round the other way, and I
Hmm.
wouldn't think that would work so well. But some people do. I think some people try it that way.
You've got to
I,
find the best way that suits you, I guess.
yeah, I
Mm.
suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more like sort of rappers that actually just sort of freestyle to a
Yeah,
beat and
maybe. Maybe
nothing.
they got
Yeah,
the
it's
lyrics.
yeah different. Yeah, they just like
You
a.
never know. I might start rapping as well. You never know.
Well, that's on my bucket list as well. So I need a piano girl. Maybe we can put a song out. There we go. We can put a song out. There we
Well,
go together.
someone that I taught years ago, he did a lo-fi version. Is it lo-fi version of a song that I'd done? This was years ago, and he did it really good. He did it on his laptop, and I really
hmm
like that. He put like a rappy type thing over the top of it, so
hmm
that was really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing with music how the sort of two genres can come together. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's strange genres can come together and make
Mm.
magical
Well,
music. You
yeah.
know.
Well, he took like one little riff of a song I did, and then he just sort of looped it a little bit, and then did this rapping or got some rapping thing over it. And I
Wow.
really loved it. It sounded really good.
Can
I need
you
to
do a little
find him
bit?
again.
Can you do a little bit more of that? Can you do a bit of rapping for us? That'd be good.
Yes. So yeah, yeah, that was actually the first one that I did. That was years ago.
hmm
He yeah, that was the first one. But that wasn't technically me. He'd done all that. He'd just taken like a little bit of a riff of something that
hmm
I'd played
hmm
him and done it. So
hmm And obviously, also now, like you know, songwriting has never been easier in the sense now that you can literally go to Chat GPT and it will tell you it will literally
well, it's
pump
so.
it.
I know. I was going to say I don't like that though, because then
It,
I, you
I
know,
know it takes it away from
'cause then
obviously
people might think that that's what you're doing, but I don't know. I
no,
just
but
think
I
that
mean,
it's
it can give you it will give you a crazy base for whatever. So, for instance,
like,
if you wanted to write a song about heartbreak, you go to Chat GPT and say, "Oh, Chat, give me a song about." You can go so into so much detail. A 50-year-old lady that was in love and blah blah blah, right down to the T, and it will
yeah.
pump out a whole verse,
But
everything.
that's so cheaty, isn't it?
But
It's like,
this is what everyone is doing. I think
I
even
know
the
that's what
big
I
people are
mean.
doing.
So, and it started when I started like writing, and I thought, is everyone going to think that I'm just, doing this chat GPT? But I've never actually, I'm so behind it. I've never even gone on it. I obviously know all about it, but I've never gone on it. But I just
hmm
think it's not. I don't think it's quite up to the level of a human writing
No.
yet, is it? It's still not quite there, but yeah, it probably
yeah,
will be at some point.
yeah. It's more than like if, for instance, like you know, with writers would that have like I think they call it writing block, or whatever, where you just
Mm.
don't have any creative instincts, but you kind of know what kind of thing you want to do.
Yeah,
It will give you a solid base because literally you just read it, and like
yeah.
for about a month, I was like I became this great poet. By the way, I was this great poet over like it happened all in a month, and I was sending all these poems to people just on a day to day basis. They were like, "You're amazing, aren't you?" And then sort of the penny
But then he
dropped. It was
got
like,
suspicions.
"Yes, of course they did." They're like, "He don't write like that. That's not his vocab."
So you were putting it all in Chat GPT and seeing what came up?
Yeah, literally, I was writing poems, but it was just more like generic stuff. Just like a lot of people loved it because a few people were going through some traumas and stuff like that. And I was
Yeah,
like, just write me a poem that will cheer a strong lady that going through blah blah blah. So it
yeah,
wasn't like I was trying to monetize it or anything. It was just
no,
that I was just doing things, and then people were just like, I sent a few to my mum, and she was like, wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna frame. I'm gonna frame that. She said. I was like, yeah,
It's
yeah,
mums always like would believe everything, wouldn't they? They believe you've done all of
yeah.
that. Oh,
Literally, and then the penny dropped, and then I think my brother ratted me out. He's like, no, he didn't write that.
what you
But
did was
yeah,
relax.
yeah. But I mean, it's solid for a bass. It's even helped me with the movie script that I wrote as well, sort of thing. Just
But when you get
different.
mental block,
Yeah, definitely. It just helps you sort of like structure little bits here and there, and just
yeah.
they literally will give you a solid base. But anyway, Natalie JaneF, it has
Yeah.
been amazing having you on. I feel like we've had a great insight to you. This is the first interview. We are going to get you again. Hopefully, it'll be a better picture, and then we can enjoy the full
We can have
Natalie
some
JaneF.
singing.
Glory.
Definitely. I think we should have a karaoke night online. How about that?
We could do that. We could try
I'll
that.
watch.
Yes, yes, we can sing a song. How about you? How about you bless us with a couple of lines from one of your songs, Natalie?
Oh, the pressure. I'll do that another time.
What?
Do it another time.
I get really cross with people when I hear that.
I'm so what?
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'll give her a break another time, guys. Natalie JaneF, it's been amazing having you on. Thank you very much. First of many interviews. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's lovely to meet you.
Thank you, and you.
Okay, everyone, go and enjoy the lovely sunshine. Everyone, thank you very much. Natalie JaneF, make sure you get her on TikTok, guys. Natalie JaneF.